I'm Jay Taylor. I'm the editor of a newsletter called Jay Taylor's Gold, Energy, and Tech Stocks, and I'm here in Vancouver on May the 25th, 2018 at the Metals Investor Forum in downtown Vancouver, and I'm really pleased to have with me Ralph Shearing. He's the president and the director of Telson Mining Corporation. It used to be Telson Resources, but now that you're producing, you're called Telson Mining Corporation. Welcome. Thanks for joining me today.
Well, thank you, Jay. And yes, we have made the transition from an explorer into a producer.
Yeah, and your history as an explorer, but you've teamed up with some really strong operating people in Mexico that know their way around Mexico. And you've got two mines that you're putting into production. One is actually just this past week. You've proclaimed commercial production. Correct, on there,
yes.
Doing extremely well, it seems, from what I can tell. You have, that's the Campo Morado
Correct, yeah.
mine. And then you have another one, the Tahuehueto, if I'm pronouncing that right, in Mexico.
Close, that was
Close.
pretty good, yeah. It's called Tahuehueto.
Oh, Tahuehueto.
Tahuehueto. It is a mouthful. Yeah.
But that's, did I say it? Tahuehueto.
Yes.
Pretty good, right?
Pretty good. That's,
okay, yeah. Excellent. Well, but the important thing is that's another project, and you'll expect to have that into production probably early next year, or you're building you're building your mill now, right?
Correct. We're building the mill in Tahuehueto. So Tahuehueto is really the flagship asset of the company. And we've been developing that one for many years, and really only when money was available to explore. So out of the 20 years we've had it, maybe 6 or 7 years we've actually explored it when we could get access to capital. And during that period of time, we've developed a resource, we've developed a reserve, we've put out a pre-feasibility study, and then having met the new driving force behind Telson, it's a Mexican mining group led by Jose Antonio Berlanga, we were able to really push that project forward, and we have started construction, and we're building a mine now. So as you said, we hope to have it up and running by the end of this year, early next year, and we hope to have it in commercial production second quarter of next year.
Now that Tahuehueto mine is primarily, I think, predominantly a gold mine,
yes.
Is it not?
Yeah, it's 60% of the value is gold. It's a very large epithermal system. We own probably 80% of the prospective ground in our concessions within that mineralized district. So it's a large-scale project, and we have developed enough now to actually get into production, and we'll continue to bring more resources and reserves into the company as we mine and explore ahead of ourselves.
That's excellent. So you're actually doing some bulk mining now. I think you're having a toll milling of that.
So at Tahuehueto, we are toll milling on a very small scale basis. About 100 tons per day. We're mining an ore chute, and we're shipping that about 150 kilometers to Tepehuanes and toll milling it. And we've been producing about $1 million to $1.5 million cash flow on a monthly basis, and we have probably an operating profit around 20 to 30% on that. So we've been reinvesting that profit into the development of the mine. And that's got us partway there. But what really allowed us to push ahead on Tahuehueto was Trafigura is a commodities broker who wanted the production from Tahuehueto on a long-term basis. So we negotiated an offtake loan facility with them. They provided us a facility for up to $15 million. We've drawn $7.5 million on that, and that's allowing us to build the mine. So with their money and the money we've got and are producing, we're going to have that mine built and up and running by the end of this year.
Wow, that was your first project, and then the Campo Morado came along later, and that's the one that's actually you've declared commercial production. Talk to us about that.
Correct. Campo Morado came into our company after I'd met the Mexican group, led by Antonio Berlanga, and we negotiated the acquisition of that, and it was actually Antonio and his group that led the negotiations and brought the project in. So it was a former mine that was put into production by Hunter Dickinson Group and in 2009, I believe, and they sold it to Nearstar, or Nearstar purchased Farallon Mining, which was the company, on a friendly takeover for, I think it was about 410 million Canadian dollars in a friendly takeover at the top of the market. Nearstar operated between 2010 through to end of 2014 and shut the mine down in 2015 due to low metal prices and claiming difficulty with the local people that would not allow them to operate. And the fact of the matter was that the metal prices were so poor that it was just hard to make money at those prices. So it was on care and maintenance from beginning of 2015 right through to when we negotiated the acquisition price. And our price was negotiated at $20 million. And we paid 3.5 up front, and we have a payment coming up to make to them fairly soon, and we've got the money, raising the money to put that in place to make that a payment. So we'll have that all taken care of. We'll own the project 100%. We actually own it now. We have all the shares transferred into our name, so we have control of it, operating it. We started up production in October, 4 short months after we acquired the project. Really as a result, again, of Antonio and his team, we were able to go in and clean it all up and get it back in production. So we started producing about 1,400 tons per day, and since then we've ramped up to about 2,000 tons per day. And we are changing the mining method. We've done a lot of things different than the former operator. For example, we've reduced the workforce to about 300 people right now. The former workforce in full operation was about 700, over 700 people. So we'll probably max out somewhere around 320, 340 people at maximum capacity, which is about 2,500 tons per day is our target. And we hope to get there over the next couple of quarters of this year. Campo Morado is a great project. It's polymetallic, so volcanogenic massive sulfide deposit with lenses that have been drilled off. It's got over 570,000 meters of drilling to outline these ore bodies. So we have good confidence in where they are, and underground development is all in to several of them, and we're actually mining on the El Largo deposit, and we've changed the mining method, going to a bulk mining method, which is a sub-level caving. It's really a long hole style mining, and it's allowing us to further reduce the costs. So right now in development, our costs were around $50 per ton, and we expect that to go down once we start into the main mining method, which is just getting started now. So we've done quite a bit differently, and it's really led by Antonio and his group, who are very good at what they do and have been doing it all their entire careers in Mexico.
He's an operating guy. He's a metallurgist, I believe, right? And
He's a metallurgist and mining engineer.
And knows his way around the culture around Mexico.
Very much.
Knows where the projects are.
Correct.
I think it's just remarkable that you were able to buy a project for $20 million that costs over $400 million.
It's just good timing. You know, in a market that was downtrodden, and it was the former operators had decided to get out of mining. They tried it didn't work out for them, so they have vested the majority of their mines, and still have more they probably will vest. But we were lucky enough to secure Campo Morado at a very good price.
I guess it was the zinc that
because
NiStar was after.
that's right. They're a Belgium zinc smelting company, and they were primarily focused on zinc. And yet Campo Morado is a polymetallic project with gold and silver, copper, lead, and zinc. But the gold is refractory, and it's difficult to get all of the metal out. But we're looking at ways to actually improve that. So we have some technology. We should be able to get that done, and we'll try to implement that over the next coming months.
Well, it's really refreshing to see a stock perform like yours has in an otherwise pretty dismal, not dismal, I guess that's too strong, a market that's been lackluster at best for the junior sector. And here you come along and actually start producing, and your share price has just performed very, very well over the last years. It really reflects your progress. And yet, as a geologist, I know you believe there's a lot of upside exploration to expand, I think, both projects potentially over the longer term.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. I mean, both projects have the ability to make the mines bigger. And our cash flows coming up this year and into next year will really prove our value. And we're very undervalued, and every CEO or president of the company is going to say that, but if you really look at our metrics, you'll notice that's very true.
Well, I think you're just getting into some of the really good higher grade stuff. A lot of the work you've done so far has been development, so we should be looking at some really sweet numbers, I'm hoping.
Yes, absolutely.
As an owner of your stock.
We'll be able to target certain areas of the deposit that are rich in one metal and maybe not the other, so we have flexibility to move to one commodity to the other in the mine as well.
Lots of good things happening, it seems, and thank you very much for being with us. Anything else? One last word?
Just really focus on our management team. The Mexican group are very capable of building these mines, making them work properly, and new acquisitions are on the horizon. So.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jay.
Great to hear the story again.
Thank you.
All the best. Take care.
Thank you.